Hi friends, welcome to Pudhiya Review channel. Today we are going to talk about behavior. So we have already done some Visual State Manager thing. We have created some predefined visual state that is normal and focus, and then we have created custom visual state invalid. We have defined this invalid inside this method in as handle underscore text change. This will check whether it is null, empty, or white space. Then we have set uh, different styles for each of this visual state. So basically, it is not good practice to write codes um, inside code behind file. So what we can do, we can replace that with behavior. So I'm going to create a behavior folder and then behavior class. Then I can replace this code behind file to behavior class. So I'm creating behavior folders so that I can put all the behavior class inside this folder. Then right click behavior folder and add new empty class. The name will be entry validator behavior. Then inside that, I'm gonna inherit, sorry, I'm gonna inherit behaviors entry. It should throw some error because I need to add Xamarin.Forms namespace. Then inside this class, we have to add two overrides. Override on attached to, and the second override is on detached from. Then inside this override, I'm going to create an even handler for text changed. So I have already defined bindable is entry, then bindable dot text changed is even handler. No, is plus equal bindable underscore text change. So the new method will be here. Then I'm going to remove this even handler as soon as entry is detached. Then I'm going to put this private. Basically, we are going to private void, sorry. We are going to replace the code from XAML.cs to behavior class method. So now we don't need any methods inside this code behind file and text changed property in this content page. Here before it doesn't understand what is entry one, so we need to um, create a variable called bindable entry, which is equal sender. We have received a sender from XAML page, but it doesn't know this is entry. So I'm going to cast inside this statement to entry. So now bindable entry is the entry of this. Now I'm replacing this entry one to bindable entry, and then check the conditions, validation conditions, and replace the state visual state to as per your requirement. So in this case, we are checking null, empty, or white space, and if it is, we are setting to invalid state. Otherwise, it will be normal visual state. Not yet finished. We have one last thing to finish. We have to add namespace for this behavior. So there is already X namespace which we have used for X colon name. That is by default the Visual Studio will create. Now we are going to create another XML namespace. This time I'm going to add div behaviors colon CLR namespace colon my first name, which will be the project name or namespace dot behaviors. So that's it. We have defined what is behavior. Then inside the entry, we have to define which behavior class refers to this entry. So to do that, entry dot behaviors inside that behaviors colon entry validator behavior. So that's it. So we have combined behavior and also Visual State Manager to do validation for entry. We have replaced the code that we have written a method to check whether it is empty. Um, so this will clean all the codes from code behind file and no code inside view model. We have only behavior and then XAML. So Visual State Manager and behavior, we combined it to do our, um, entry validation. Basically, Visual State Manager will give style settings, and the entry validator, the behavior will check um, the conditions. So that's it. I have run this program in iOS simulator. Let's test this one. So when it is focused, it becomes lime color. Then I'm typing some text. It becomes silver color because we have, sorry, because when unfocused, it becomes normal state too. That is background color silver. That's why it becomes silver color. So when it is focused, it will be lime color. When So if the text box becomes empty, then entry validated behavior will check that and set the um, entry to invalid state, because we have defined that inside this event handler bindable underscore text change. As soon as the text change, this event handler will call this method, and this will check the text, empty text, and based on that it will set the uh, corresponding visual state. So let's remove this text, whether it is validating, it's validating. So it's changed to red color. So that's what behavior will do. So you can add more than one behavior class to one visual element. So you can add one more behavior below this. You can add 10 behaviors inside this, and also you can add number of visual state similar to this normal, focused, invalid. You can add another predefined visual state such as enabled, disabled, and visible is visible. If it is visible, this will be the um, um, default style settings. So you can create a predefined and also user defined visual state. Okay, that's it all about visual state manager and behavior. You can combine it together. The one main advantage of entry validator behavior, or sorry, behavior generally, because you can use the same behavior class in another entry in any other XAML page. Just you need to add this um, behavior class inside that entry. So you don't need to write every time new behavior class. You just have to add this namespace and this behavior class. And but when you create entry, you have to define this visual state manually, repeatedly in every XAML page. So if you don't want to repeatedly add this visual state manager again and again uh, in in multiple pages, multiple content pages, then you have to set the style settings inside this uh, behavior class file and remove this visual state manager. You will keep only behavior class. Don't use visual state manager. But if you want to, if you combine visual state manager along with the behavior, the one advantage is um, you can use this predefined um, visual state, and you don't need to check whether it is focused or unfocused and need to set based on that. You don't need to create so many methods to check this predefined visual state. the system and the app itself knows, Xamarin.Forms 3.0 knows when you set x colon name equal focus, then it is definitely setting a style set for focused entry. So that's the difference basically. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Bye.